Hi, I wanted to take a few moments to explain the value add that we're providing with the photographer listings that are placed in the global photographer directory. What you're looking at now, and maybe many folks have never seen this before, this is called the Google Search Console, and it's a Webmaster tool where, when used correctly, can expedite the indexing of website addresses, URLs. So let's do some. Let's enter a URL live right here now. Let's go to the directory. I'm going to choose a listing that has not been entered into the or has not been entered into the expedited listing process. Let's go here. And you'll notice that every listing has a unique URL. Okay. You can't see it, but I'm going to copy it and we'll move it over to Google Search Console. So I come up with Google Search Console, and the purpose of Google Search Console is to, again, expedite the indexing of website addresses, URLs. Without that, it could take days, weeks, even months for Google to find them on their own. But this is the value add that we provide. So if I come up over here where it says URL inspection, and I put in the URL of the listing that I just showed you, it's going to go out and it's going to say URL is not on Google. So right now, it's telling us that the URL is not indexed. All right, it gives you some additional information down here. So what we do for every listing that someone submits to the global photographer directory, we will actually use this tool, request indexing. Now this will take a little bit of time. It actually tests to make sure that the live URL can be indexed. And then it will enter that particular URL into the priority crawl queue. Now, because global photographer directory domain itself is an established domain, what will happen is these individual URLs will typically get indexed within a few hours, worst case next day. Without this process, it could take days, weeks, or even months before Google finds the URL to your listing. And obviously, if it's not indexed, searchers cannot find your listing on Google in a search. And this is an additional avenue of online activity and online presence that you have in addition to your website itself. So looking right here, it says indexing requested. URL was added to a priority crawl queue. Okay. Now at this point here, if we come back in a couple hours, worst case in a day, we'll see that the URL is actually listed and indexed on Google. So if we choose one that is currently indexed, previously indexed, let me go to which one should I choose here? Let me go here to Michelle Arletta Photography. And this pulls up the single listing page for this particular listing. I'm going to grab the URL. I'm going to come over to Google Search Console, plug it in, hit enter. And you'll see this one says URL is on Google. Page indexing, page is indexed. Gives us details here. It shows us that it has an authoritative address called the canonical address, which is the finite established address to that particular page. It also shows us that it's the mobility usability is usable on mobile. Breadcrumbs indicates that it has a method, it has a way to get back to where it came from. So if somebody goes to the listing, the user's not trapped there, they can go back to where they originally were before they went to that listing. That's something that Google likes to see. And also, it's eligible for site links search box. Site links search box, that is when you see in the Google results itself, you will see detail from a web page without actually going to the website. And you've probably seen that before. So it is eligible for that. So that's what I wanted to show you. That's the value add among our SEO strategy, which is a proprietary SEO strategy that we use. We do monitor SEO to make sure that once it's indexed, it is searchable. And the biggest value add is the fact that we are manually inputting your URL to your listing into Google using Search Console to get it indexed within a matter of hours. Thanks very much. I hope you, at this point, understand the value that we're providing, and you consider joining and subscribing to the site and submitting a listing for your photography business. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks very much.